podcast. I am Sefo, aka Royal Mogul, and I am excited once again for an amazing episode, for an amazing conversation I'll be having with a dear friend. And I hope you guys get to enjoy it. In the meantime, please comment, like, and subscribe on this video, the previous videos. Click on the notification button so every time we load on Fridays, you're ready to receive. Let us get into it. Welcome, Miss London.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on the Royal Mogul podcast. I'm fine. I'm good. What?
I'm not going to Royal Mogul podcast. I'm just like, this girl. I gotta go live Yeah. How have you been?
I'm good. I've been but now it's I'm getting better. Yeah, we're taking it day by day, and
that is
things are looking good.
Yeah, that is dope, man. So what you been up to?
Oh Lord,
I can't even say work-wise. I'm gonna just say in life. What have you been in life? Because it's showing us the thing.
Woo, flames, woo, just
all around them, all around. Even one day you wake up, you're like, okay, today's better, I'm good, and then afternoon, whoosh, like, no, what is that?
Look, Shadrach and the belly gonna come through, and they're like, yo, man, we out here. I'm like, aight.
Fire. I'm finished.
No. Yeah, but life's good.
What are you busy with at the moment?
At the moment, I'm trying to get done with school. So like I did start studying again. So that's been a roller coaster.
You love school?
I love knowledge. I love getting to know things. But the systems sometimes, oh man, those admins that come with school, like nobody tells you how much admin you're going to go through when you go to school. They don't tell you, okay, you're going to have emails, you're going to get letters, you're going to, you have to keep up with all the other departments, not just
on top of learning about a certain subject.
On top of learning, yeah.
That is hectic. And I think maybe that's probably one of the things that would put people, certain audience off of going back to school, because it's just like, the processes are just so long and the funding, it's just a mess.
I think it's one of those things that we don't realize and even talk about. Is like when you're in high school or in primary school, your parents take care of the background work. You are literally just in the learning process. Yeah. And then when you out of school, it's a whole production. There's behind the scenes, stage manager, lighting, call time.
That is like the best way to describe it. That is like the best way.
Yeah.
Only one, you're a whole production. That you have to manage everything. That is so intense.
Yeah.
Hectic, man.
It is.
Okay. So what's happening?
Yeah. That you know what? Let's ask God about that. He knows all the answers. Right now, I'm just taking it module by module. I'm not going to stress about it.
What are you studying?
Environmental studies. So I'm studying, it's a bit of biology. The math is just like showing me flames once again. But
don't tell me anything to do with math, please. I am going to go dark.
I'm actually enjoying it. Like it's a weird thing to have maths out of school and you see how it applies in life as well. And you're just like, okay, so this thing is out here for real.
We need it.
Like we do.
We need it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's very interesting.
Yeah. Thank you.
I was talking to Lee earlier this week and I was like, episode 10, for me, it's very special. And it's like, who can I feature, etc., etc. And I'm like, I don't want to feature another male at this current point because the past 3 episodes essentially have been banana. And I'm not complaining because it has been very knowledgeable. It has been great, but I'm like, I need to engage more with women as well. And I was like, Atheha London, I haven't spoken to this woman in forever. And this is one person that is so wise beyond her years. You're forever bubbly. Sometimes I'm like, darling, how do you do this? How do you maintain this positive energy, this positive vibe, this smile? Like the one time when you got mugged and you're like, they took my phone, and I was like, why are you? I'm like, why do you sound so excited though? This is one person that always tries to find positivity in every single thing she does. And I mean, we've known each other for years. Your transition to coming to Joburg, career transitions, work, everything that has been happening, I think predominantly in the past 10 years, has been a lot.
Has it been that long?
Bruh. What year was it when we did the Total Sport, when you guys did the Total Sport run? That was 2014. 2014. So, okay. Yeah, roughly about, my math is bad, so you do the calculations as to how many years that is.
We got 3 more years to go, and then we can do a 10-year reunion.
And I was just reflecting on that as to what we've all gone through collectively, what we've all dealt with, and how we overcame it. And when you sit down and you reflect, you get to, sometimes you pick up certain things you never notice in that moment. And I'm saying in terms of personally, my energy towards you, towards Lee, towards certain people was a bit aggressive, to a point where I felt like, am I a bully? Am I bullying people by the way I respond when I communicate with them out of being defensive? Or am I just, this is okay, this is me, And I want to hear from you regarding your experiences.
The funny thing you say that, because when you describe me and you say, you're this bubbly person, it's like not a lot of people get to see that on me. Like apparently I go out of the house and I got this mean mugging face or RBF. No, but here's the thing. I think just having that circle of family and friends where you are comfortable and safe to be yourself. Perhaps you might have felt like you were being a bully in that space, but you were in a space that was so safe that you could really just let loose and say, you know what, this is how I'm feeling today, or this is how I am. And even me telling you about how I got mugged and whatnot, look, not a lot of people even know that, but the mere fact that I could be in a space where I'm like, I actually want to cry, I want to beat up someone, but I know I can just make fun of it now and be in a safe space to make fun of it, because someone else, is gonna get me in a depro state. I don't need that. You don't need that.
And it's funny because you at that point you were trying to make fun of it to just kind of move away from it. I was mad because I'm like, why is it because we keep telling her, can you just stop this thing of you walking? I was literally mad on your behalf, and I was mad at you because I'm like, darling, you need to be safe out in the streets. I can't not, and we can't not know where you are at this moment. So it was a whole big sister vibe at that time. But then when you also look back and it's like, okay, so maybe a bit too much, too overprotective, or just too, in that moment at the time.
I don't know. It's a balanced thing, because I knew, okay, if you're going to be angry about it, we can't both be angry about it.
That's true. That is very true.
Yeah.
So thinking back to those moments or memories, a lot of that can create PTSD, right? Post-traumatic stress and whatnot. And I realized the smallest things, guys, my friend says she has PTSD from playing cards as a kid, because she would always lose, and the way people interacted with her. So when we want to play cards, she's just like, get sharp. And because she says it in a jokingly way, you would think, but it's a real thing, And then I was watching an episode on the old channel, and they were talking about PTSD versus PTW, which is PTW is post-traumatic wisdom. So essentially, yes. So essentially, how do you turn your PTSD into PTW. And that is what I wanted us to essentially touch on today, because I feel like, and I'm sure you're not aware because you're surprised at the title, I feel like you're one of the few people who is able to do that. You are able to turn whatever is bad and is not working out for you or has caused some sort of trouble for you and turn it into good and, make something positive out of it.
Wow. Okay, this is amazing. Okay, so like you were saying, like when I was going through that stuff and we were laughing it off, I did push it away. I did push it aside, and I wasn't dealing with those emotions. And years later now, I'm just like, oh my word, I have certain anxieties going out, and you're like literally the last 12 months have been a roller coaster. Just stepping outside, I think like the lockdown made it worse because like, okay, now you're indoors, and I got used to the safety to the point where when I did go out, it's like, okay, the world is not only not unsafe, but like I've been in moments where it's like feels unsafe. So I know like my triggers outside, but now it's like, okay, you've got triggers and now your whole world's changed. It's not the same like it used to be.
How do you work that out? How do you balance that?
How do you work? So I did go to therapy. I do have people around me who I talk to about these things. Oh no, my phone's going off now.
You can go check it.
It's an alarm. Okay, let me just
it's fine, switch it off.
It's gonna go on forever, so let me just switch it off. This is why you need a crew.
Hey. Yes. Also, in a day.
Yeah, this one is my lunch alarm so that like if I get carried away
at a certain time. That is so dope.
I must remember to eat.
Yeah,
like it's been weird. Like I lost weight, like all that trauma. Like 2020 was like, hey, all that trauma that you left behind. Yeah.
That is so hectic.
So I got to sit down with my demons and be like, okay, I want to go out shopping today.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a walk. I need y'all to leave me alone because God's got me. Like, why are you on my case?
How does that process, where do you even begin? And how does that look like for you, like on a day-to-day? Because one thing I'm struggling to do right now is get back into my routine of doing yoga and whatnot. And now every morning I wake up stiff and my routine is completely off. Literally, I wake up, go to the bathroom. When I come back, I grab my phone and land on the bed. And I'm here. And I was like, this is wrong. This is messing you up because you're jumping straight into work and you're not even fully awake yet. How do you, it's bad.
Like I've tried different things, like doing things differently on purpose. Instead of waking up and switching on my laptop or switching on music, like I've tried so many things and literally take note of, okay, this actually irritates me in the morning. I actually don't want to hear this. Or like I realize in the morning, first thing when I wake up, I don't want somebody talking to me. Hold up. Quiet time.
Quiet, please.
We can make the noise from 10 a.m. This is right.
Oh my
God. But it also depends on what kind of things do I want to like have in my mind. Like in the morning, what am I feeding? Not just my body, but my mind and my senses. So yeah, first thing in the morning, I have a 4 o'clock alarm so that I, not necessarily to get out of bed, but just to get my thoughts to align. It's like, okay, 4 a.m.
To pick your mind up, essentially.
Yeah, it's like, okay, we're listening to the birds, we're talking to God. Like, I don't know what's going to happen today. I'm not even going to think about it, but I'm just breathing and just being aware that I'm alive,
Sure.
Then from 5 a.m. it's like, okay, so are you going to go out for that walk? It's too cold. Okay, do some yoga, do something like,
Oh my God.
So I have started cycling again. I
am
lovely. Walking. So
Are you still running?
I take it day by day.
I thought you still, I know you have a love-hate relationship with running, but like that was your thing.
Yeah, but like I lost so much weight in the last year. Like I felt like running was gonna be just too much. And I did try running. I couldn't cope. First of all, my breathing was off.
Yeah.
And like it feels like I can feel my bones. And I'm just like, no, I just need a little bit more. No, for real, like this is how I feel. So I'm just like, you know what, let me try something a bit more light and just for some muscle strength. Because people think, oh, slender feet. No, not necessarily, you know. Misconception that is so huge. So just working on gaining a bit of weight so that I can like, you know, feel strong and healthy again.
That is so, but at least you're cycling. I mean, that's a good replacement for the running as well. You're cycling and you're walking. Yeah. I'm hoping I can get into a hike this weekend because that's my thing. If I'm not doing yoga, I want to hike. And I'm so excited to go on Sunday with my friends. I'm just like, okay, finally, guys, let's do this. Let's get into this habit, you know?
So before we continue, before we get deeper into these chats, I'm gonna ask you 3 questions. Right? Ding, 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 ding. They're not difficult, but yeah, they're fun. What's the most out of character thing you have done?
Ooh. What's the most out of character thing that I've done? I think the most out of character thing that I've done, which was something that I've also been working through from PTSD to PTW, is allowing things that I wouldn't do by myself whilst with other people. Like I realized that I hung out with people and I just go with the flow, even though it wasn't like when I had I wasn't true to myself in a moment where I was like, you know what, that one is not for me.
Yeah.
And instead I was like, oh, let's all try it. It was like, I guess it was a peer pressure thing, but it's also like, but it's also like, because I'm not easily influenced, but I'm easily like, want to be part of something. You
want to explore also. I think it's just part of wanting to explore. You're like, I don't want to miss out and be like, I never tried that.
It's a bit of a conundrum because I'm just like, I want to try that, but I also don't want to be on some, I tried it because I was with other people.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah. So it's a fine line, but I'm learning myself. I think that's the beauty about it. Yeah.
I think when you talk about peer pressure, it feels like for me, peer pressure is worse in adulthood than in our teens. And and I learned that over the years. That thing is loud sabbath, but it's that thing of I don't want to be a party pooper. I don't want to be like I'm messing up everybody else's fun or you know, it's just worse in adulthood. Whereas as a kid, it was quite easy for you to just say no. But the pressure was more violent in the sense that no, you have to do it, whatever. Here, you have the option to just say, but your friends are going to Icon. If I don't go, I'm going to miss out on, if I don't, then you find yourself in there knowing very well that's not a place you wanted to be at, that's not a place that you were meant to be at, you know? So it becomes a bit messy. Then it's hard for you to, in your decision making, you become afraid to disappoint people. That is the other thing of it. When you choose yourself and make decisions that don't necessarily feed into everybody else's needs and wants, it becomes some sort of a disappointment and then you sit with it. I feel like that's kind of what peer pressure does in adulthood.
I think, I actually want to ask you about this. Do you think like, you know, when you're kids and you can easily say no, it's like that's when the whole, oh, you're a bully thing starts, but it's like, no, but kids like really know what they want.
Yeah.
Like how about sweets? You're not gonna convince this.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
You can't tell me.
Yeah. So I think like in adulthood, we just the peer pressure also comes in with a sense of belonging. Like when you're a child, you don't think about, oh, I'm single. No, this stuff comes in adulthood.
You're fine being alone.
Yo.
You're
like in the mud, you're out there, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
so your question
social media
is?
doesn't make it easier. Like the whole transitioning from childhood to adulthood, from a state of selfishness to selflessness.
And I think that is I think for one, we firstly have to fully understand what selfishness and selflessness means. Because certain people can easily say, I'm selfish about my stuff and what I want to do and where it should essentially be I'm in a space of selflessness. Because in saying you're selfish, you look at it in a negative way that yes, you put yourself first, but it's like you don't consider necessarily the people around you, you know? So for me, that is received differently. It's fine that I can put myself first, but I don't have to do it in a way where Atheha is going to be shunned by something, or she's going to feel like I've rejected her, or her matter, whatever, doesn't, is not that important. Whereas selflessness, it's a case of, and Anthony said this in a few episodes back, he said, you come first after me. Meaning, yes, whatever you requested and wanted, I will do it, but I need to take care of myself first. And I feel like that's selflessness. And that's what we need to strive for mostly.
Yeah. And I think it's also those conversations that we don't have, because if you're having that conversation with yourself on some, okay, I don't want to do this because it's going to be a selfish thing, without knowing how the other person feels, for all you know, they could be like, yo, go ahead. I need to give me time to be selfish for my things too. It's like,
that is true.
How do we have those kind of conversations?
I guess we like to assume. We assume. I will assume on your behalf and say, because and that's the horrible thing, and I tend to do it as well. It's like, because I know the type of person you are, I understand your energy, or I see how you've operated in certain spaces. And say, I can't address Atheha about this because I know how she's going to respond. You don't know that. Atheha is not the same person that she was a year ago, last week, yesterday.
Hallelujah.
We are evolving in everything. So you must also evolve in your thinking, and this assuming thing of saying, I can bother because I already know what the answer is going to be.
Yeah, I love that you say that. Yeah.
So
because we're all evolving.
We're all evolving. And for me, it's a big lesson right now, because I live in my head rent-free. I live in my head rent-free. My parents live in my head rent-free. It's just like a lot goes on in here. And I'm selective as to what I am verbalizing in terms of making sure what I'm thinking is correct or not. And who I'm reaching out to in making sure that whatever I'm thinking is correct. I don't go to the person I'm thinking about, yo, this situation happened. Is it really like that, or am I misunderstanding? Instead, you go find a third party. And in most instances, the third party could be someone that it enables your thoughts and say, oh yeah, but nah, that you're right. And that person is wrong. That in itself is damaging. That in itself is friendships, relationships, or whatever the case is, because we are selective about what we choose to communicate and to who we are communicating it with. If I feel like there's tension between you and I, why am I not coming to you? Instead of going to somebody else, making the matter work, So in that, I am learning.
Wow. See, when you have an audience. How do I respect? That happened. Okay. What was I saying? anymore. And I was telling her earlier, I'm like, listen, I do this by myself. Y'all are really disturbing me right now. But yeah, so it's and for me, therapy is that important because in therapy, it's easier for me to just vomit everything out without thinking, you understand? And you get guided as to how to address certain things, who to address them with, and if you're not ready to do that, at least journal. Put it down, you can go back and read it, and when it makes sense to you and you are calm emotionally, because that is the biggest thing. Your emotions take over the situation so quickly. And when you're calm, then you can be like, okay, I need to address this with this particular person, and then you take it from there.
That's nice.
I still want to lose my shit sometimes though. Like just
And
like
it's
you know
okay.
what. No, but I think I need to go to my therapist and ask her like when is it okay for me to lose it? Because wow, got a lot of things let's slide.
And also, what spaces can I lose it in? Where is it safe to do that and when?
Yeah.
That is yeah.
I love that about therapy, but here's the other thing that I learned about is that if I'm comfortable with this stranger telling them anything and everything, that also gives me a chance to gather my thoughts and go to a specific person who I'm having trouble with and be like, okay, I've been thinking about A, B, and C between you and I.
Yeah.
Like it gives me that I get to lose it in therapy so that I can fix it with the person.
It helps you with communication guidance. That is yes. So that there's less, well, not less emotion, but it's the right type of emotion directed to that person and the situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so dope. KG was actually saying a few weeks ago that because I'm like, it's so much easier to open up to strangers because a lot of us do it on the internet anyway, or whatever the case is. He's like, yeah, because a stranger judges you less than the person you know. You know,
right.
And this is true. Now, when we look at each other, you're just like, but why would you go do that when I told you not to? And that's not what we want to hear.
No, but I told you that I'm gonna go do it, not for you to tell me.
Like also you back there again. So you didn't learn the last time. Man, come on. That is not the energy I want. So with a stranger, a person is more empathetic with you, you know, because you're just like, we don't know how this started, so we judge it less.
It's like, I don't know if everybody goes through this, but like for me, strangers, I'm just like, I don't know you that well. So let's talk about the sunshine.
Do you know how, and I don't understand, it's so easy for me. And I think I just suss out your energy. I just feel you. If you, from the moment of just saying hi or whatever, if we're connecting properly, it's easy for conversations to flow into those type of spaces. And it has to be, what is the word? School just ran away from me. What is it? Wow. Demand. Reciprocation. Hey, no, it has to be. It must be reciprocated, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yes. So you can honestly feel that from conversation starting, and also what spaces are we in? Who did I meet you through or whatnot? If we're just sitting, what's that saying? You're sitting next to me and you start a conversation. Nah, we're not getting in that. No. But if I've met you through a friend somewhere and we're sitting collectively and your energy seems great, that can easily happen. It just depends, you know? Yeah, it just depends.
Yeah.
Okay, your second question. You can have an unlimited supply of one thing in your life. What is it?
Food. Next.
Easy. Why don't you think about it? Easy. Like I would probably have 2 fridges full that would be restocked every month. I have a variety of things, definitely.
Frigi in the garden. Are we making this one surviving? So I'm happy about that.
Happy. And then the food. What happens to the food? Is it not growing?
Pepper juice are popping up soon. So yeah, I don't know about the chilies. We had jalapenos last January and this past January, so that was fun. Yeah. Oh, and we had plenty spinach, so that was good too.
That is so nice. I halala my mother's garden. I helped her start it, and now she literally eats from it. And I'm like, yo, I'm so far. Every time it's like, oh, I'm having lettuce today from my garden. I'm having spinach from my garden. Now there's tomato, carrots, and all these sort of things going on. I was like,
Oh,
man. And she legit.
can I go easy?
Listen, we can just ring the bell and say, hey, oh man, can I get some lettuce and spinach, please?
Yeah. I got some rocket. Would you like some
You
rocket?
know, let's trade exchange here. I'm growing mint. My mint is doing very well. I am trying to grow lemon. So it's just literally just peaked out just a little bit. So I'm trying to see how far that's gonna go. At least we're getting a lot of rain, so it's cool.
Yeah.
We planted a mango tree about a year ago. Nothing was happening. And then when I wanted to cut it or remove the whole thing, the growth started. So now there are these little miniature mangoes. I'm like, oh, so I needed to be patient, darling.
Yeah, yeah, these things.
You know? So now I'm just trying to see how far it's gonna go.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm
That is
loving
so
it.
great.
So, also, it's so relaxing. Gardening is it just puts you in a completely different vibe altogether, you know?
Yeah,
Really dope.
that fresh air, the smell of the soil when it's wet, like it's beautiful.
Amazing. Is your garden you still gardening at your dad's?
I'm gardening at my mom's, yeah, but it's also been a while because I've been here at my place. So for me, I just got like things in little containers.
I need to
we'll see how it goes.
I need to do those containers for food. Yeah.
Okay, your other question. Are you sunrise, daylight, which you probably already answered. Are you sunrise, daylight, twilight, or nighttime, and why?
As a description of myself.
Like, yeah, are you a morning person, daytime?
Enjoy your day. Yeah. We can
that is so interesting. I saw a picture on Instagram where it's two houses connected by a bridge. And they're like mom's house, dad's house, and there's a kid running across. And a lot of people are in agreement with it. They're like, yeah, perfect. Certain mornings the kids can go to their father, and then other times they'll come to me. We'll take a nice walk across the bridge to go chill the side. Ultimately, we're here. And I'm like, what unity is this?
Okay, that one is a bit extreme for me. I'm just like, nah.
I was like, no, I don't want that. And that reminded me, growing up, I always wanted a his and her bathroom sink because I'm like, oh my God, it's so fancy, it's so cute. And I was like, actually, nah, let us be here in each other's spaces in one sink. We are here. It's okay. If certain days I don't feel like then go. But I want that, you know?
Look, I don't know about the bridge one. I'm not for the his and hers, even maybe, but I think it's also about like being selective with even like your partner. Are you having those kind of conversations where you're thinking about the future and you're like, yo, if we're gonna have a house, not go one where it can just be me, like. Because you know how I work, this is my vibe and whatnot. We're not overly spaces how, because in as much as we are people and a man is not an island unto himself and whatever, you do need your place of solitude. You do need your prayer closet too.
Yes.
You know?
That is facts. That is so true. I mean, that I definitely don't mind. It's just, hey man, I think the way people look at marriage lately is completely different to how we have been taught what marriage is and how we saw it, I guess, with our families and everything else. Now it's just like, yeah, we can get married, but you're there, I'm there. It's all about space and being individuals. Then why are you getting married? That is my question. Why are you doing it if you remain a full individual? Yes, do not lose yourself in the marriage. Continue to have your hobbies and you know, because you need that self-care in order to be able to fill into your partner. But if you're doing it to just live apart, and I don't quite get that bit.
La Jola must just
La
do the
Jola,
certificate.
yeah. So Jola Jole and just leave the rest. There's no need for all the other mess.
Yeah, but I think like the whole marriage concept also is everyone has a different experience. And it all stems from childhood as well. Like if you're growing up from a divorced family, or if you're growing up with parents who are like 20 years into their marriage, then you're gonna have different views. If you're growing up with a single parent, that's also a different view.
Yeah.
And then you become an adult having certain expectations because of the way you grew up. Sometimes even subconsciously, not because, okay, fine, you dream of this togetherness, but you haven't lived this togetherness. So
you don't know it, yeah.
You still have to work at it, and not just on your own, with your partner, and have those conversations saying, okay, here are my vulnerabilities because of ABC. How's it going with you? And
Yeah.
Yo, and that's a tough conversation to have, especially. I mean, I was saying, Hori, my longest relationship was 6 months, which was 2008. I don't know how many years ago that was. I can't remember. But aside from that, in trying to be in relationships over the years, the biggest struggle is necessarily being extremely vulnerable and telling the next person exactly how you feel, what you want and whatnot, because there tends to be that fear of, if I say this, he may not like it, and this may be the end of whatever this is. Like you become so afraid of disagreements and conflicts that you're just like, okay, certain things I'm too afraid to address. But when you are friends, and when you're friends with a male, you're able to have these chats. So it's like, so what is the difference, in your space, romantically and friendship wise? Why is it you're able to discuss it here, but Mona, you can't? So I'm trying to I'm trying to figure that out, and just see what is the blockage, or essentially what am I expecting from the next person. Keke sent me something this morning, phobias based on our star signs type of thing. Sagittarius and Capricorn, they have a fear of falling in love. And I was like, oh. And now I'm evaluating my adult life, and I'm like, why? That is kind of almost accurate, And it's like, how do you assess this? Because predominantly you do want to get in a relationship, you do want to get married, have kids, but a huge part of you just keeps saying, nah, babes, not today, not right now.
It's Robin, and you need this phrase of falling in love. Do you want to fall in love, or you want to be in love?
There's a difference in that as well. That's the other thing. Yeah,
because for me, I think it's a look. I love people. I love easily, and I've realized that sometimes I can love so hard that like I hurt myself. So I also had to create those personal boundaries for me to say, okay, look, you might like a person, but you need to gather yourself and create a safe environment for you to interact with this person.
So you don't lose
so so I can love you and love you and love you and love you, but I shouldn't let love blind me from what is actually happening, what is in front of me, So I don't think it's even like a fear of falling in love. It's just, because look, you got a good head on your shoulders and you know what you want. It's just...
I know that. I was saying that to Anthony, but I'm just like, I don't know what is missing. And I was like, maybe I haven't found the one. So it's like, no, don't go looking for the one. I'm also not looking for the one because I engage with, like you said, it's easy to engage with people. And for one, my emotions are always ahead of me than my mind or whatever the case is. I go, if conversation is great and we're flowing or whatnot, I'm just like, oh my God, gushing. But in like 2 weeks or something, it's like, I'm not sure. So I'm trying to figure out where the issue is and what is making me feel like that, you know?
Yeah.
So
Do you think it's like a girl thing? It's like we meet someone when we start fantasizing our life? 5 years.
At some point I thought that you know what, you have planned 10 years already in your head and it hasn't even been 2 weeks, and that could potentially kill whatever is happening between you and this next person, you know, because you fantasize about it, you've perfected it and everything else. I always say I don't really like having crushes because I have a crush for too long, and by the time I'm actually with you or we talk whatever, I'm over you because now I know everything about you. I'm just like just whatever. that's how I used to
Maybe
be.
I should try that.
You know. And I'm like, and it's wrong in itself, but I'm just like, okay, how to go and make it down when you know, I'm just like, yeah, it's fine. I know you now. There's no reason for this thing, you know. And I guess part of that is not knowing, even in having a crush on someone for a long time, it's really not knowing how to build properly, or maybe that interaction was just for that, it wasn't necessarily for a solid relationship. Because you have people that crush on a person for 5 years or however long, and when they get with them, they're still madly in love and get married for however many years. And I'm just like, how do you do that?
You said something that I found very interesting there. You said okay, so you crush on the person to the point where now you know the person and you're like, okay, but maybe that's where the discovery actually starts. Okay, fine, you know the person, but do you really know
the person? Yeah.
Yeah, because as a crush, you want to know, oh, what's their favorite color?
And you're finding out from everybody else but them.
You know, like what do they like to dress? What's their favorite cologne? Like, no, what is he like in the morning when he wakes up? What is he like when he's grumpy? Like, what, you know, what makes him sad? How do you comfort that? Are you gonna cook better than his mom? I don't know.
I hope no one compares my cooking to their mothers, please. Guys. No. You're starting fights now. You're starting drama. In doing that, drama is starting. Yeah. No, I definitely hear you, and that is very accurate in the sense that, and I'm gonna trace it back to turning our PTSDs into PTWs. You know, I'm trying to discover in my traumas, my triggers and insecurities and fears, those little things that are lingering in me. As much as I'm in a better space now, they still keep coming back, and you're still trying to figure out, okay, where does this particular thing come from? And once you can pinpoint that, then you can understand why your relationships have been turning out the way they are, why you approach them the way you do, you know. And Anthony said one thing, that in you finding love, it's not just you, it's like sometimes you want to just look for the bad. The person you find or you connect with, you take the good and the bad, and it just balances itself out. Me, if we argue about something that really annoys me, I can just say to mom, like, nah, dog, bye, leave me, you know. And so I need to learn to stick within that, you know. Yes, it's good to set your boundaries and just say, okay, this is a, you know, this is where we end. What is the word? Why is English doing this to me today? Not icebreaker, deal breaker. This is our deal breaker, you know? So as much as we have that, at certain times I'm just like, just don't talk to me. It's whatever. Move on. You know? So yeah, I need to figure those little things out.
And I think also on that, also realizing, for me is like I've gotten to know myself to a point where I'm like, okay, I know when I'm being shitty, like I can feel it in my body. I'm grumpy right now. Okay, fine, but we're out here in the world and we're meeting people. So grumpy, please step aside. Let me handle this.
I'm trying to be a better person.
I really am. Like I got approached the other day and someone asked me, "Are you angry?" Look, I might have looked angry, but I wasn't feeling angry. When you asked me that question, that's when I was like, okay, girl, are you ready? Because somebody just asked us.
They're calling you. Oh my
mean, but the funny thing for me, I learned that, okay, I don't see myself, other people see me. And there are expressions when I'm in my thoughts, when I'm in my head, when I'm anxious, when I'm, frustrated or whatever, to the point where even if I am being nice to them or kind or whatever,
they see something else.
Whatever is inside does come out. So I need to deal with certain things, but also not to the point where I'm just like, okay, I still need to put me first before you. Let's say that one.
That is that one is very tricky, because Lee would say, why is your face like that? Fix your face. And I'm like, what did I do? Then you become aware, because your mind is not here. Your mind is not focused on whatever's around you. You're stuck in your own thoughts and stuff. So your facial expressions are just going left, so it becomes very tricky. But I think as an outside person, we must also then be more lenient in trying to judge a person based on how they look, or what you think you see. When I look at Atheha, I might think, okay, she looks mad, but so just say, hey, how are you doing? If you start that, then a person responds differently, and then your assumption was wrong. You get to realize that,
I prefer the fix your face than the how you doing. If you're gonna ask me how I'm, honestly, like you see, that's the other thing when you need to look at when you're trying to look for a partner. It's like, don't ask me how I'm doing. Just say fix your face, because you can see there's tension.
No, guys, but why are we so complicated as humans, though? Hey, like.
That's how God made us. Just like, you know what? I'm gonna make y'all so different. Figure it out.
That is, it's so intense. Who was saying that other day? Actually, we're just talking about how equally men and women, we're all dealing with our own things. But it's always a case, you men, you women. And I'm like, no, it's not a competition as to who has more issues here. We all have issues, and we all need to coexist. We don't want y'all gone. You don't want us gone. We need to live together. So how do we do that? So if only we can all just be open and willing to this therapy thing, whatever it looks like, or whatever you decide therapy is to you. If we can all focus on that, I think honestly would be a better human race altogether.
I think we're good. We just get it crazy sometimes.
And it's okay, right? I think crazy is okay. Every single person has a level of crazy in them. It's just how you trigger it, or how it comes out.
So going back to PTW, post-traumatic trauma, Oprah had said, everything that has happened to you has also happened for you, if you allow it to be, and that's what I'm saying. You have turned your PTSD into PTW, even if you're not aware because of the titling. But for one, when you wanted to study music, etc., you uprooted Bloom, moved to Joburg, and you're like, hey, I admire you so much, because you're just like, no, I'm gonna deal with that one later. Yes, it's gonna bring some trauma and triggers or whatever, but I will find a way of managing that situation. At this point, this is what I want. Transfer, let's go, and we'll figure it out. And it's something that ended up working out for you. Like,
look, we don't think about the trauma and triggers that we're gonna have when we embark on our dream journeys or our dream careers and what. You don't think, oh, I'm gonna follow this dream and I'm gonna get robbed, or I'm gonna get backstabbed. You don't think that I'm gonna be. You just think about, I get to do the work that I feel I'm purpose for.
That's true.
It's almost like running that love-hate relationship. It's like, oh, I feel so good after a run, like my body is happy, like but waking up and just like stepping out of there and then starting to feel your lungs do the things and your breath is like, and you need to get, oh my word,
it's just traumatic in itself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we close, actually, I want to talk about something, but that's like a completely different topic, so we'll touch on that another time. So the other thing that I want to talk to you about is self-assurance. What are your daily mantras or affirmations or affirmations? Some people call them affirmations. Like what keeps you, yes, you wake up at 4 and what is your routine? What is your routine in just keeping yourself positive and motivated?
Funny you mention it because I wrote it down in my journal the other day as well. It's like, this is my mantra. I'm healing. I'm in my healing phase, but I'm also learning to also say my own name. Like I need to be present in wherever I am. Like I think so oftentimes we walk into rooms and you're overwhelmed by, oh, who's there or what's happening here, and you forget yourself and you become part of the background.
Yeah.
But you need to be the star of your own show. Like, fine, you might not be the star of whatever's happening there, but in your own story, you need to feature. So, like be present. And I think that's also how I've overlooked certain opportunities in my life. I'm just like, something that was open to everyone, and now I just pinpointed to, no, but that person is good at it, so that's for them, and this
I
is
did
for
that
you.
a lot.
And hey, so
I
it's
did that
time
a
to
lot.
step up
Yeah.
and shine. Like you are a light yourself. Like you need to be out there and bright. You don't like people always say to me, oh, but you're not shy, you can get on a stage in front of thousands of people and just bright, hey, you're superstar. No, everybody is a light. You're a light because you bring something to the table, whether it's just a word, whether you're singing, whether you're dancing. Some people can say nothing, but just the way they move brings the room alive. So my mantra is, I am here, this is me, I am healing. If this is not for me, then
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I also love how you decided you shut off from 6 o'clock in the evening. I need to learn that.
Confession. Let me tell you, I'm actually loving the way my life is getting set up.
Yeah.
So that whole switching off, it's only because my Wi-Fi situation is set up like that. So I'm like, okay, let me use this to my advantage. So now I'm realizing that if my Wi-Fi goes up at 6 p.m., I'm more aware of what's happening around
you.
I'm more aware. I'm more aware of my space. Like, oh, it's dinner time, who's you? Hey, we should start looking towards doing things for tomorrow. And then when it switches back at 11, I must not get tempted to go
just jump back into it.
Yeah. So instead of leaving my phone on, then I'm like, okay, auto power on, auto power off.
Yeah.
Phone, you will switch off at 6 p.m. and you will switch on at 7 a.m. Whoever's in between all of that,
it's not my business. It's not my business. Yeah. That is so amazing. That is so amazing. And I guess it helps you. A lot happens. A lot of growth, healing, calmness, and peace just happens in that space, There was a post that I read on Mixed It. We used to log out. BRB, G2G. We don't log out anymore. We live on the internet. It's just like 24/7. And when the internet shuts down, it's like we go into a panic mode. When Instagram, Facebook, all those things shut down, everyone was like losing their shit. Like, I can't connect.
What are you talking about?
WhatsApp was down, and I was like, what is wrong with my phone? And it's so crazy. And for me, I feel like it is in such moments where I saw it as God is telling you to relax, And for me, I took it like that specifically because I wake up and I automatically want to get into work mode. I'm sitting around in my not doing anything moments. My mind is running wild. Igari, you need to do something. Don't just sit, as if self-care, just sitting is wrong, So it is in those moments you get to realize, oh no, God just says breathe, relax, leave these things alone. It forces you to shut down. And it's all about what you do in those shutdown spaces. Are you going to use it to better yourself, or you're just going to sit and wait and be eagerly waiting for the internet to come back? So yeah, that was a tough lesson. Yeah. Before we close, I'm gonna have the last segment is called This and That. I wanna ask you, with all the books back there, I'm sure you've read most of them, if not all of them. Which book for most of them, which book for you stands out the most, and which one spoke to you and just, helped you through life?
Okay. So the number one book would always be the Holy Bible. Like, this book shows me playing all day.
All the time.
Like, every day is a sermon. Every moment.
Yeah.
The Lord, hallelujah, I'm still alive.
Yeah, true.
But, the one that really does it for me, or did it for me, was this one. It's called Happiness. By Will Ferguson. Apparently, this was his first. What do you call that genre that's not real? Yeah.
Fiction.
Non-fiction.
Non-fiction. Yes. Non-fiction. That one.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a weird one for me. Like, this guy is an editor, is looking for happiness, and he writes this amazing book that helps everyone, but actually messes everything up. But the ending for me is the weird part. It's like, is this a comedy? Is this an action?
What is it?
It's amazing. That's what it is.
Okay, I should check it out. Yeah, I should check it out. Do you have another one?
Another book. Let's see, what do I have? Not really. Like the other ones I read, and there's one called Resurrection here. Yeah, that was a heavy one for me. But it was also it was really heavy, but it was also a good book to read. And I read it during this lockdown period where you just needed some sort of revival, some sort of renewing, like a very inspirational. You can get out of this situation. It's a Christian-based book, so based on a true story actually about this guy and his wife trying to have a baby, and it's not working out. And a lot of the times when we read stories or hear stories like those, we want God to give us the happy ending, give them a baby and happily ever after. Cinderella got married to Prince Charles, charming, and we don't know what happened after that.
That's true. That's true.
So it gave me another perspective to also look at my own life, and it's like, what, certain people have seen certain chapters of your life. True. They don't know the whole book, and that's when you also need to rise as a phoenix, the flame, as people say. It's like, your whole book so much to the point where sometimes it is difficult to pick up a pen and write. And for me, that's when prayer comes in. I'm like, okay, God, please take the pen. And he's like, no. It's a beautiful journey. I don't know.
I think I want to try that book. It will get me in spaces, but I think I want to try that book. That sounds very interesting. You must send me the Resurrection, ne?
Resurrection year.
Okay, I'll check it out, definitely.
Okay, ma'am, in closing, please answer. So it's this or that. So I just mentioned two things and you choose which one you prefer. Car or bike?
Car or bike? Wait, where we go? Car or bike? Car or bike?
I guess it would also depend as to where you're going.
Yeah, and am I keeping this thing? Is it just for the day?
You want details, Maki? You will create that in your fantasy world. You will decide. Because also, I mean, what is wrong with also having both, right? And then locally, you ride around in your bike if you're a bike person, and then long distance, you just take a car.
Yeah, but I mean, if I get to drive a Mustang for 2 days, that's also nice. I don't get
That's
to
a vibe.
keep
Yes, you don't have
the
to
gas
keep it.
guzzler.
True.
No.
Okay, gave me a different perspective. Thank you, Miss London. Ambition or
I
comfort?
overthink sometimes. Ambition
Listen,
or
and
comfort?
overthinking can be good depending on what it is. Sometimes it just messes you up. Like you just need to let it go. But yeah.
Okay, so I'm going with car, and then I'm going with ambition, because ambition can get me to comfort.
Did he once said, and I saw one of his Instagram posts, he's like, I work this hard and have people to work or do work for me or work for me so that I can be happy and do nothing. And I didn't put in all that, so literally we say ambition lead to comfort. That's what he did. Exactly. That is so perfect. He's like, I don't need
Thank
to
you,
work
Diddy.
anymore. You're like, here to see that I just want to be happy.
Look, comfort is if comfort is an Egyptian cotton sheet, then that's a bit ambitious, don't you think?
Let's go. Why not? It goes from buying, koshopong ele and then upgrading to the next one. It's something.
Number levels.
Hot coffee or iced coffee?
Hot coffee.
Always. Yeah, I'm trying this iced coffee thing, but yay, I'm struggling with it. It's still very foreign to me. I like my coffees hot. Salad or sandwich?
Both.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you pick one, please? Primary and secondary, rather. Let's do that. Primary and secondary. Between those two.
Let's go for sandwich.
Okay.
I think. Yeah. We'll go for sandwich.
How sure?
Yeah, let's go for.
Can I get them both? Have them both on your plate, okay? Have that.
Yeah, like a bacon and cheese sandwich with a salad.
Exactly. Just be bougie. It's okay. Ms. London, thank you very much. I appreciate you for contributing.
Is that all for this event?
It's a lot. That's all. Yes. Yo, hey, Atheha, what is going on with me? Or is it because it's month end and what? I don't know. My English is running away from me.
Okay, we'll upgrade.
Yeah, so that is it. Thank you very much for contributing to the Royal Mogul podcast. Episode 10. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
It's officially been like what, 2 months then? By the time this comes out, it's like a good 2 months of consistency.
That is amazing.
It's amazing, and it's a great challenge for me because I'm one person that's quick to let go of things if I feel like I don't want it anymore. So this is a great challenge for me to just be consistent and follow through wire for something that I want to do for myself, not necessarily for other people. It's always easier to serve others and not yourself. So I'm grateful and I'm happy. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being open.
Thank you.
And sharing your wisdom with us. I truly appreciate it. And being an amazing friend. It's been like how many years now? Jeez, guys.
Like 7.
7? It's not 7. High school.
High school, we bumped into each other.
Oh,
2014 is when we actually.
Tuna was the friend from high school because she was like around the house.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And then
7 years. It's still amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you too. Bye.
Yay. Oh wait, before we go, Atheha London music.
Yes.
Talk about Atheha London music. What are you busy with? What are you doing?
Okay.
What are you pushing? What are you aiming for?
Okay, so I've been focusing a lot on the branding side and getting it up and running again because wow, I saw flames, Lord. Like, yeah, I'm just checking my files and I'm realizing, okay, things went as orderly as I,
You
you
thought it
know.
was, yeah.
I thought it was, but I'm grateful that I got the chance to actually sit down with my work and see like how far I've come, like who I've met, and like so many memories. So I'm just like putting those out, and it's been the weirdest thing for me because I'm just like, how do I write new music when I've got all of this that I want to share? Like, so it is evolving to more than just music. It's becoming bigger than just singing.
I love
So
that.
yeah. So
I'm proud of you. I'm proud of
thank
you
you
for
so
following
much.
through with your dream and your passion and turning it into your career. That is a huge thing to do, you know. And may God just keep opening doors for you. Many blessings shall come your way, and you will get everything your heart desires and deserves.
Thank you. Many, many, many to you too.
Thank you.
Bless it. Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Have a beautiful day.